then, Boris, daylight robbery?
Yeah, probably. You know, I thought Blyth were probably the better team until they got in the box, and you know, I don't think Lewis was out to make a save in anger. But yeah, you know, they had a right go, and we knew that was going to happen. That's why I picked the team that I did. I wasn't really too happy with the midfield for the first 10-15 minutes. They were on the coach after the journey, but if you had said 3 years ago that you'll come to Blyth and win three times on the trot, a big non-league club like this, you know, you'd be fantastic. I do believe that their chairman told us to stop moaning about the timescale of the what's it called, the journey and all that. So you know, he's done the team talk for us for 3 years anyway. So yeah, all good. But I do feel a bit sorry for Blyth because they did have a right go, and it was probably a bit harsh on them. But that's what happens when you are down the bottom.
Oh, you got a bit of a big new signing in the side there. How do we manage to get a player like that?
We knew about it. I knew about it when he was leaving Cheltenham, but he wanted to try in the league, which is obviously his bread and butter. And you know, but that's what money's like at the moment. Hereford didn't have the money, and that's how it goes. He needed the game. He was rusty. I think he knew that. But we've given him a blow now, and we've got the cobwebs out. And we know he's not a right winger, but he did well in there in training the other day, and for the job today. He did a job as the rest of them did, but not too many of them from the midfield upwards would be taking that as one of their best ever 5 games, that's for sure.
Well, if he's the kind of player that we need to employ to get better and better and evolve, like, have we got any real chance of keeping him for next year?
I don't know, you know, I'm sure, you know, with his name there'll be people around, but he's going to be, you know, I think he's not stupid. He left Cheltenham early to try and get a deal. He's going to be in the same boat as 1,000 other people, and for whoever wants to come to Gloucester, I won't be held to ransom, I'm not saying that Dave is, but by anybody. And if they want to take the chance and go on trials here, there and everywhere, as a couple of players did who left conference clubs last year, don't interest me. They've got to want to come to Gloucester for the right reasons, and you know, it ain't all about, you want quality in there, but they've got to want to come for the right reasons, and that's why we are what we are, and why, you know, we haven't had too many bad eggs, if any, here.
Well, today's game, looking back, not a great performance attacking wise from us, but it was settled by a penalty kick, which we've had very few of this season, and of all the penalties that we've not got, that's got to be one of the softest, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was soft, but you know, go back to the Droylsden game when the bloke handballed it, blatant penalty, and the ref said it was handball. Then you see it in midweek in one of the games, you know, handball the Man City game that gave them the lifeline that won them the game. You know, consistency from the ref. So your luck evens out over the year. We've had some bad ones, we've had some good ones. You know, Webby's sending off, wasn't sending off. Scott Wilson's wasn't. You got to deal with it, and like I said, hopefully it evens out, and you know, we'll obviously take it today. I spoke to Morph before the game about that. You know, there will be sort of poor crosses going in because of the state of the pitch, and he got in front of his man and bought it, probably, if that's a fair assumption, but it was a penalty.
Well, you just mentioned Scott Wilson's sending off, I think. He's talked himself into a silly booking again today. He's got to learn from that, hasn't he? Yeah,
I'll be having a talk with him on another day. Don't want to ruin his weekend, but that's experience, and he's got to learn things. It ain't all about Scott Wilson, and you know, if he wants me to trust him to put him on with 10 minutes to go in games, and that, I thought, you know, I would have been happy with a point up here today with the situation, driving up, getting up at 5:30 this morning and all that nonsense. If he wants me to trust him, as you know, and George will get his chance, and even Manny's in that boat, and Sam Rawlins I do trust. He was ill today, that's why he wasn't here. You know, they've got to do that work, get in front of the man like he didn't in front of their dugout, and not give away stupid things like that, because they would have still been in there now had they scored from that last thing, when Morph could have ran it in the corner, and the game would have ended up in their half. It was that late.
Well, let's have a quick word about Steve Davis and the horrible injury he suffered last week. How's he coping with it?
Yeah, he seemed very buoyant when we were speaking to him early in the week, probably because the morphine was probably still inside him, and then he did sound not down, but you know the reality, I think, and of the grogginess of the thing. But he's fair play to him. He's been on the phone, as Webby has today, texting the lads for a good win, and that's what we want, people that want to be at the club, and Dave will get the opportunity to come back next year, and you know, hopefully that will be the last of all his injury woes, because you know, he was, you know, their bench thought he was becoming a dangerous player as the game went on. and with his pace, that's always an asset for a club like ours, as Scott showed when the ball was going the right way for him in the last 10 minutes.
Right, and finally, Gainsborough Tuesday. That was probably our result of the season so far. They'll want to do it to us, won't they?
Yeah, we don't know how they got on today, but they want to get in the playoffs, and I'm sure the teams that are just outside the playoffs will want us to do them a favour. Guiseley have been high today, so that'll be an interesting one. We go out to Guiseley, so we've got some games to look forward to. I want to get to 51 points because history would say 47's our highest, but we have played 42 games every season, and 50 is our 50 is what we have got with Ilkeston going out of the league, and I would like to get to 51 because wherever we come in the table, 51 points will be an improvement on last year, and we're in a good position to do that after today's result.
Well, brilliant. Thank you, Boris.